Exploring the Brotherly Bond. That was the title of another CNN segment on the bombers, rife with more cheesy photos of the dead one. Seriously, what is with CNN's obsession with beefcake bombers? Does Ted Turner have a fetish for men in Everlast trunks? Exploring the brotherly bonds of terrorists is like exploring the health benefits of cyanide or the calming effects of nerve gas. Do you think they'd ever explore the mother-son bond of the Lanzas? Heck no. With gun violence, the media predetermines that guns are evil. But when terror strikes, the media humanizes the heathens, giving their defense lawyers a head start. And a top defense lawyer is already there, showing that it's way cooler to defend evil than to prosecute it. CNN also hawked a film called The Reluctant Fundamentalist, about a man who changed after 9/11. Not from the attack, but from being profiled. The implication is that profiling for potential terror is somehow no better than terror itself. FYI, there's no such thing as a reluctant fundamentalist. It's as rare as a reluctant moon landing. This contradiction in terms veils truth with phony relativism, and its message, profiling encourages terror, is deadly. It seeks to blunt your desire to deduce danger. So rather than prevent attacks from Muslim supremacists, just place America's suffering in the context of global ills. When you grieve over Boston, a crank on MSNBC can say, now you know how Somalia feels. Now you get why so many hacks refuse to call the bomber an enemy combatant. If you just got to know him a little better, you know he'd be a blast. Dana, welcome back to the program. We missed you, I guess. Supposed to say that. Anyway, why is it? What is with the constant psychoanalysis of bad people? Does it help?
Well, it doesn't help us prevent, well, for some people, like psychologists, or if you're an FBI profiler,
yes,
or if you're in the CIA and you're trying to figure out what kind of person would do this to innocent people, psychoanalysis could help. But we have spent so much time worrying about the why that we are not focused on the more important questions, which are the who else, the when, and the how, to prevent it from happening again. And throughout this coverage, it somehow is insinuated that it's our fault.
Yeah.
That somehow we didn't help them assimilate best into American society, that what could we have done differently to prevent them from becoming radicalized. I think actually there's no way to explain evil than to just call it what it is and then deal with it appropriately.
Yeah, that's what I do with you. EB.
Yes.
I get the feeling that the media, when they're doing this stuff, is somehow subconsciously mapping out the defense.
Well,
but this is how the defense is going to portray.
They're mapping out the Alex Jones conspiracy theory really early. 60 Minutes last week, within a few days of the bombing, had friends of Johar, Tsarnaev, saying, oh, he was a great guy. Never went to mosque. If you knew him, you would love him. They had a girl saying, I had a crush on him. I mean, they really started that ball running. CNN, again, late to the game by about a week. But again, what's with the sympathy for the bad guys? Dana's 100% right. Before we start venturing into that, let's find out what he knows, who he knows, who else he did it with, where the money came from. There's so many questions. And this constant playing of the mom's rant.
Yeah.
Oh, America, how could you do this to me? Enough of that already. America didn't do anything to you or the Tsarnaev family.
We need more uncle, less mama.
Yeah, by the way, you want to see what happened to the mom? Let's do a before and after picture before she became radicalized. See, she actually looked like she might have been fun. She looks like she used to be in Quarter Flash or the backup of Joan Jett's band. But now, I mean, this is what happens when you get radicalized, Bob. You would have dated either one. I want to talk about Congressman Keith Ellison. He was on Meet the Press with Peter King yesterday, and they were talking about profiling and things like that. And I believe he made a comparison to the Japanese internment camps.
This Rising attack, for example, that's an act of terrorism. That doesn't come out of the Muslim community. We don't have enough law enforcement resources to just go after one community. And remember, we went after a community in World War II. And the Japanese internment is a national stain on our country, and we are still apologizing for it.
Bob, does that comparison hold or help?
No, I don't think it holds or it helps. The entirely different situation, and entirely different war. The Japanese war was defined for us. We understood who had attacked us, and it was very clear. We knew the reasons for it. My problem with that is that if it wasn't for the fact that every terrorist act that has been committed against the United States, either here or abroad, going back to the SS Cole and doing some other, have been done by Muslims. I've been accused of profiling, as you know, from what I said about student visas. It is not profiling when you have a group of people constantly being the source of these attacks. Where are you going to look first? Seems to me that's not profiling. That's much more using the evidence that you have before you and saying this is where we need to go first. We're not going to go to Lithuanians.
Yeah. Although, who knows? KG, I want